Hey, Bulldog fans! Welcome to Inside the Huddle, the podcast that brings you the heart and soul of Rolla Bulldogs high school sports. All right, everyone, welcome to Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Romo Athletics and powered by our title sponsor, Phelps County Bank. 100% employee owned, 100% community champions. They are bankers by day. They're Bulldog fans by night, man. You know what? You got that down, man. You know that's what we got. We got good stuff going on there with Phelps County Bank. Appreciate them. Go to mypcb.com to find out more about them. Here we are. This is season 3, episode 64 on the season. Coach Charley Parker. 67. Who's gonna be next? Yeah, that'll be. Somebody's gonna be highlighting on that one. Figure out who that is. Hopefully.
Them student section last night. They was about to come part of it.
And what I like is the official at one point, like blows the whistle kind of quick, and we get the ball back, and he has this grin on his face. He knew exactly what was going on.
And usually in that situation, I'm pulling them out. But I was like, you know what? Last game of the year, let's have fun with it.
And
were so close.
Oh my gosh, they hit multiple. They took like 6 opportunities.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And every time it didn't go, that was crazy. That was a lot of fun last night.
Yeah.
Coach Charley Parker, Lady Bulldogs, finished up your season last night. We're talking about that game against Battle, 16-10 on the season is where you ended up. And before we go in and talk about the Battle game, let's kind of recap where we've been. Man, there's been a lot of stuff. It's been about a month since we talked on the Inside the Huddle. Been talking to you a lot after the games and everything, so we're getting a lot of feedback to put out there on the site.
Yeah.
But man, let's talk about it's been a challenge, for you. And I'm looking at this. I think we started talking like right before the Herman tournament or right like at the beginning of it.
Right before the Herman tournament.
Yeah.
We was our last one, and man, we've had it all thrown at us.
We talked early on about kind of the gauntlet you started with. And then it really didn't change much. It's just kind of like it's been sprinkled through there that entire time. And again, we talk a lot about Dodson going down. It just changes everything, but it's also a growth opportunity.
Yeah, it is a growth opportunity. And one thing that I really seen in through that whole transition and through our last month is, man, we competed. We may not have came out on top against some of them teams, but we competed. We had Hickman blew us out, which we did not. It was their best game of the season and probably one of our worst games of the season, besides probably the Borgia game, in my opinion. But Borgia did play well that game as well. But, we got worked pretty good at Hickman, and we got worked really good that first game without Riley. And the rest of the games we competed. I mean, against some really good teams. Lutheran St. Charles, one of the top teams in Class 6, beat us by 11. And we had that game to about 7 in the fourth quarter. And we didn't play clean basketball that game either. I think we had give up 18 offensive rebounds and had 22 turnovers in that game. And it's hard to win any game like that, especially a good team. MICDS bounced right back and played another top 10 team. And had them down the whole game.
Oh, whole game, yeah.
Yeah, and once again competing, and then late fourth quarter, got us, and
kind of your classic kind of some turnovers, some decision making.
We had some decision making, some turnovers. The Haywood girl got hot there for a second. Number 1, number 2 sophomore in the state. And we just going down the line. We played some really hard teams, and we competed. In games that most people, being as young as we are, fold in. So, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I got to tell you, it's been one of those, so you ended up in that stretch, kind of a 4-3 in Herman, actually 5, maybe 6-3 if we count through the Herman tournament. And like I said, you take that Hickman loss back, then my CDS loss is understandable. The Borgia loss, I know, is one you definitely want back because that third quarter, I believe it was, where it's kind of just they got hot, we turned it over and added to their thing, and I know that was
just
really painful
one of them. You almost have every season that I've coached, you almost always have one of those games, and that happened to be that game for us. You can go back, even on the boys' side, you can go back and look and be like, man, we probably should have won that game, but we lost it. But it's just one we take out of it. We go back to film, we learn from it, and we try to progress off of it.
Well, and then that takes the last couple of games. So the Union game, which Union is You know, they're not the same team they've been in years past. They're down a little bit. But that performance that you put on, you know, you start off with the JV doing a great job against them, and then your girls come out in the varsity game, and it's 75-15 is the
Yeah.
final score. And Union just didn't have an answer. And so part of it was Union's down, but part of it, to me, that was one of the most complete games I've seen them play as far as taking care of the ball movement, making the extra pass, seeing each other, kind of team defense, passing lanes. Just the intensity level was just
Yeah,
impressive.
we had the most assists the other night as we've had yet this season. We had 25 assists in that game.
Yeah.
And you know, I've told our girls, I'm like, man, when we're really good, when we're winning games, you know, our assists are about 18 to 20. When we're losing games, they're about seven,
Yeah.
8, you know. So that should tell you something.
Yeah.
You know, you're either trying to do too much yourself, you're not getting your teammates involved, you're not opening it up for others, you're not finding the open person. You know, when you find other people, it's going to make the game so much easier for you yourself. And you know, I think the last couple games that we've done a lot better job in that.
Yeah, definitely. And then last night, Battle, you know, Battle's record, you know, isn't they don't have a winning record. And I think that's probably based on the depth that they're you know, they don't have much depth.
Yeah, they're
They got some talent. Their top end kids are talented.
yeah, they're number 55. She's going to Lincoln, Division 2 and
6'1",
six
Rod.
one, and she is a handful
Yeah.
inside. And you know, we started off the game playing man on them and did a good job of getting position defensively. But their coach done a really good job of executing to get it isolated where there was lack of help on the backside. He got everything overloaded on the one side and kept throwing it over the top of us. And then Sway Jones, she got hot there for a second, and man, we were in for it.
When we talk about that, I was a little nervous when that game
And
started.
and I one thing that I was frustrated with my girls to start with is, you know, I just didn't feel like we had that intensity that we had in Union. And I didn't feel like we was getting the ball out of the net quick enough and getting back down the floor because one thing that we talked about is, you know, we have the ability to slow it down. We have the ability to pick it up against teams, and that was a team that I really wanted to push
Yeah.
because I knew their bench was not deep. I knew that their girls was, you know, not in as good a shape as
Yeah.
we were, and I really wanted to push it. And we was just wasn't getting it out of the net. We wasn't pushing it down the floor like I wanted to. And so I got on to them about midways in the third quarter, and defensive intensity kind of sped up. We finally started pushing it down there and getting open
Yep.
looks. You know, a lot of our looks we was getting at the rim was them on their heels
Yeah.
trying to get us because we was already downhill on them out of transition. And you know, Bella done a good job of getting downhill there. Mariah done a good job of getting downhill. Madison done a good job getting downhill. Addie hit that three off that high pick and roll right there. Uh, so we did a good job of finally adjusting to how we wanted to play for that game. And once we figured it out, you know, we took
Yeah.
off.
It was nice. Just so you have, like I said, midway through the first, you know, you're down 10 points, I think, at one point in that early first period.
18-8. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they started to battle back. Bella, like I said, attacked the paint. She got two, you know, got to go to the free throw line twice, got 4 for 4 from there.
Hmm.
Then you close out that first quarter with Hutton getting the steal up ahead to Mariah
Nice. She got that and one right
and
at the
one
buzzer.
at the
Yep.
buzzer, no time left. And
Yep.
I mean, that was it. That was to me was like, okay, they can play. And
Yeah.
their intensity picked up after that. You know, maybe the scoring output still wasn't there in the second quarter that we wanted, but we're able to get that lead, hold them down, and we frustrated them because their game slowed way down because they just didn't know what to do with the ball.
Yeah.
Your defense, the passing lane, you made it really rough on that team that
Yeah.
started
And
the second quarter on.
they're a team that typically they don't kick it around as much as they did last night. And I give the credit to my girls on the defensive end there. You know, they turned it over 22 times against us or 20 times against us. And usually they do a really good job. And in the games that they've played this year, they played a pretty tough
Yeah.
schedule. You know, being in the CMAC, they played Rockbridge a couple times, Hickman, Jeff City. They played some tough teams, but they do a really good job of slowing you down and going high low on
Yeah.
you all night long. And they don't turn it over a lot. They want to play in the low 40s. That's their game. That's
Yeah.
where they're successful. And I told the girls at halftime, I'm like, we don't want to play low
Yeah. Yeah.
40s. We don't want to play mid 40s with them. We want to play get them 50s, 60s because their legs are going to give out. And you know, we amped it up defensively, sped them up, they took, they rushed shots
Oh my, yeah,
and they
yeah,
wasn't making them.
no,
And in our defense, that's kind of something that we say like, hey, they may shoot it, but as long as you rebound, your defense done
yeah,
its job. Let's go the other
yeah.
end. And so we were getting them to take rush shots. We were getting the boards. We were pushing it right back at them. Making them play defense on their heels. And our defense done a really good job last night.
They did, and again, that translated into a lot of points in the third quarter. 20 plus points in the third quarter. You wind up the gap. We're up 20 going into the fourth, and then it was just a matter of just taking care of business. And I you guys did. I mean, they're in the third quarter. All 7 of their points came from the free throw line,
Yeah,
and they went 7 for 16.
yeah,
And because it was a pretty physical game,
mhm,
not a lot of calls coming in
yeah,
that first half. We talked about that before. Both you and the other coach was frustrated as well. And so it's like in the third quarter, they started calling those things. They got some benefit from it. But like I said, we just pushed the tempo, and we didn't have to worry about getting fouled because we were getting some easy buckets.
yeah. And what was really beneficial for us last night, I thought as well, is I thought that our bench play
Oh,
was about as good as it's been all year. Riley Hall, we got in foul trouble there. Riley Halls comes off the bench, and she just sparks you. She's played so hard.
yeah, just so hard.
She just and you try to match her intensity because she gets in it and she's having fun and she just plays so hard and makes things happen playing that way. Grace Fontenot comes in and right off the bat comes in off that dribble drive and takes it and she turns the corner and in my mind I was like she's probably going to kick this
Yeah,
out. She
yeah.
just keeps going like zero fear at all going at those big girls.
And
They
I could not see her. I had
no
to ask
right
Snicker because there was so crowded there because 6'2", 6'1",
yeah
5'11". I could not see who. I go, who made that? And Snicker goes, well, that was Grace. I'm like, oh
yeah
my God.
snuck
I didn't
right
even
in
see
there.
her. Yeah. Oh
Yep,
my gosh.
it was nice to see her to make that turn and go in there and finish amongst all them big girls and then Lacey Wilson. Lacey Wilson has won. Come up here. I'll put you on. I'll put you on. Jump on in here.
Oh, bro,
Uh-huh.
bro, I want to come over here
Brian's
after she had
about to get on.
Coach
I'll
Allen's
put you in
probably up
here.
there and say, hey, go get a hold of them.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Well, give us
there she is.
your take going into districts. What do you think?
I'm excited. I think we'll do better than what people think we're gonna do.
All right. What are you gonna bring to it?
Defense this
You gonna
time?
bring some defense? You gonna get
Yeah,
after him?
yeah,
Hey, you had that game going last night offensively though too.
yeah.
Hey,
Oh my God.
I clipped a part last night where she done this girl dirty at the top of the key in the second half. She hit that girl with a hesitation move, and that girl fell down and she
And
stepped back and hit that jumper.
I think this was the reaction of the
Yeah.
student section
They
on that
were-
same move. Look
yeah,
at those guys. They were
yeah, they
wrapped
were
up.
running up and down up
Oh
and
my
down
goodness.
the
Oh my
sidelines
gosh.
there.
You had one where they fell down, and that was on a
Yep.
different play though. But they fell down. I just want to throw that one out there. They were on point last night cheering you guys on. It was a big crowd. Yeah, and that was you, man. You had some moves, the in and out. You had to step back a couple different times. You had the fade. You went inside. It was impressive.
Doing last night, doing what she
Oh,
does.
she was. Yeah, she was definitely getting after it, man. That was a lot of fun.
Yep. Um.
Ryan Watkins Senior just having some fun.
Yeah. So, anyways, also, you know, Lacey Wilson's been shooting it really well this year, and that was something that she really emphasized coming into this year that she wanted to get better at. I mean, her and I have had some talks about it, and she has put in a lot of work and become a better shooter. And I've watched her knock them down all season long. She passed up a three when they went to that 1-3-1 on us, and I pulled her aside and I said, "Hey, you gotta shoot that. You gotta find it. You gotta find." Ball worked right back around to her, and she hits that three. I was so excited.
Yeah.
I probably the most excited the whole night I was watching her come in and hit that shot right there because I know not only it meant a lot to me,
Yeah.
it meant a lot to her. And I went back and watched the film on it, and every one of her teammates was all
Oh,
up and
yeah.
down the sideline. The excitement that they had for her. I just the way that our bench come in last night and held their own meant a lot for me, especially getting ready to go into districts. Because you're gonna have a time where somebody may have to come in there for a couple of minutes, and those girls are starting to step up and show me that they can do that, and I'm excited for them.
Well, you had 3 starters get 3 fouls in that third quarter.
Yep.
So they had to go have a sit at different times, and then you played it well by how you kind of put them in and out. But again, like you said, you had key people come in and they contributed. not just but get some buckets. Like Riley Hollis only ended up, I think, with 2 free throws, all she made.
Yeah.
But the rebounds, the tip outs, the defense, the hustle plays, come up and getting bodies on some stops, turning people, getting out on the break. Yeah, a lot of good things.
Yeah.
It's such a great turn. Those last couple games, especially after that Borgia loss, which I know was such a frustrating loss for you. But seeing how they responded, and where I thought Union was the most complete game, the fact that they did not fold in that first quarter and they battled back. And Mariah Watkins came out and said, okay, I got this. Bella Campbell said, I got this.
Yeah.
All the people, you come out of that the second quarter, and man, Riley Anderson goes right in on the big girl, drop steps, little jump hook, left hand jump hook in for the bucket.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, okay, we're not afraid of you. And I was like, boom, that to me was that growing moment.
That is something with this group that I've seen all year is, don't ever count them out. We've been down by 20 multiple times this year, and found our way back into the game, and done a good job competing and finding ourselves competing there at the end. And they just don't have quit in them, and that's awesome to find from a group that is so young
Yep.
that they don't have quit in them, because that when the freshmen are sophomores, juniors, seniors, and the sophomores are juniors and seniors, that they're just going to get that much better and that much better and that much better. And by the time that they're at the end of their career, we're going to be a very good basketball team.
So that kind of leads into was going to be my next question. So on that, so what's been, we talked about this, again, going to be a challenge this year, the growth process, how quickly they're going to have to grow up, and how quickly they had to grow up after Riley Dodson went down. You lose that all-state junior. Now the learning, curve even got steeper for them. So talk about the one thing that how they've risen to the challenge, and then follow that up with what do you expect? What do you need them to grow on just within this next week as we get that playoff run? What's that focus area to improve? But let's start off with, hey, what's the area where you've seen the most growth with how they've come around as a team?
With the most growth that I've seen of them as a team is they've allowed me to coach them, and there's been times that I've loved them and I've praised them, and there's times that I've coached them hard. And with this group of kids, I've being freshmen, I haven't got a chance to coach them yet, so you didn't know how you could really approach them or coach them, because every kid's different on how you coach them. But they want to be coached, and they want you to expect a lot out of them. They want to be held accountable, and sometimes you'll see them kind of get down a little bit, but then I'll follow up with some praise. But watching them grow, and I'll get messages after games like, "Hey, coach, what was your take on me tonight? What can I improve on?" And I'll message back and be like, "Well, can you handle the criticism? Because I'm going to tell you how it is."
Yeah.
And they've taken it, and I've watched. I'm gonna knock on something hard right here, but Bella was going through some stretches right there where she was having 6 or 7 or 8 turnovers a night, and I've really been talking to her, and it's just decision making, or the pass should have been a little bit earlier or a little bit later. You probably should have took that, and she has taken that and she's worked for that, and now her last couple games she's had 1 turnover, no turnovers, on adding to 5 assists. She's doing a lot better job of taking care of the basketball. So their growth through this season has been, to me, situational, because they had so much success in junior high. They just go get it. Now what they could get before, they're not getting now. So now they're understanding and learning how to play the basketball game, but they're allowing me to coach them. And I thank them for that, because a lot of kids hate criticism.
Especially like you said, after being undefeated in junior high for 2 years. What do you know? Oh, I've had all the success with the travel teams. I've done this.
And it's just not here, but it's in the world today. Hate being held accountable. We've lost a lot of accountability, and these girls do a really good job of wanting that. We give them a paper like, "What do you want from us?" And they want that, and that's going to make them successful, not only on the basketball court, but in the classroom, in life in general. And that's more what sports is geared for, is preparing you for life. And them allowing me to do that is going to make them amazing
Yeah,
individuals.
exactly. They're gonna be people of impact for sure.
Yep.
So, what area you want to focus on here this next week to prepare for to get them that they need to do their growth right now? Hey, we need to step it up and get to this next level.
So if I was to say something, is just consistent. And you'll see us if you watch us play all season long. You would see 2 minutes of kind of kicking it around, followed by 13 really good minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes kicking it around, followed by 10 really good minutes. Or a slow start where we find ourselves down 8-0. And we have to have that really good consistency that leads to the success because in district play, playing against better
Yeah.
teams, you give them an 8-0, now you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You take 2 minutes off, you take 5 possessions off defensively, you're gonna find yourself in a hole.
Yep.
And so consistency leading into this, that's my stress towards them right now is hey, we got to go into this and we got to be consistent. And another thing is we can't come out and play scared because we're right now not expected to win it.
Yeah.
We're the 4 seed, not
Yeah.
the 1 seed.
Right.
And so let's just go in and everything there from here on out is bonus basketball and just play loose and see what happens.
Well, those last couple games, they sure played loose. They sure played like they
Yeah.
had fun. And like you said, with the bench activity, that was great. A good crowd. So we'll be playing Monday. We'll talk about that here in a second. Before we move on to the district stuff, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the sponsors. Always want to make sure we give a shout out to them. Already talked about Phelps County Bank, 100% employee owned, 100% community champions. Go to mypcb.com. Find out more about them. Appreciate them being our title sponsor. Taylor Chrysler, appreciate them being the sponsor of our Coach Talk. Jeremy Shelton over there, not just here being a big fan, but they've also been part of one of our coaches in our SIR program. So appreciate Jeremy and all he does. Home Sweet Mo Properties, they do our Spotlight Edition where we've been doing with the senior signings and some of the other activities. Appreciate them. Juan Skills Academy, Kobe Juan's facilities getting closed up. They're ready to get some stuff going on in there. That should be coming on. Jackie Morozowitz in full bloom. Appreciate her, what she's done at senior nights and senior signings and just all the activities. And then the season ticket. We always talk about the Bulldogs, Lady Bulldogs there with JP Maxwell, Tuesdays, 5 to 6 p.m. So, Coach, let's get going on this. We have coming up next in the districts. You'll play Monday at Marquette High School. So Marquette High School will be hosting the top part of the bracket where they're at. Marquette is the number 1 seed. They're going to be taking on Northwest Cedar Hill. Rolla is the 4th seed. They're going to be taking on Lafayette out of Wildwood. So Lafayette, talk about them a little bit. They've you guys have both played Marquette. That's the only mutual games you've had. You guys played within 10 here in the holiday tournament.
Yep.
Got beat in the championship game. Lafayette lost by 25.
Yep.
What's your thoughts about Lafayette? They seem to keep the game down a little slower too.
They do. I don't feel like they have played the schedule we played this season. We played quite a bit more competitive schedule than they have. But they got 2 girls that can shoot it pretty well. They kind of hang out in the corners and play off their big girl. They got a decent post that's averaging 10 points and 9 boards a game. The Goffo girl is a really good guard, left-handed girl. She can take you to the hole. She can post you up. She's kind of like a Madison Hudson sized girl. She shoots it well off the dribble as well. So she's one that we're really going to have to contain off the bounce, and we're going to have to know where she's at the whole time. We can't let their 2 shooters get hot that he's got there, his daughter and another young lady, and then just do our best on the post player. But another team that we're kind of look to get up into, push the tempo on, uh, try to get them pressured out of some things that they do, and see what we can do.
Are you going to be working on the girls to make sure they understand the left hand concept?
Yeah, we're gonna
Because
2 days to work on that. We still haven't got there.
Paddle had that girl last night, man. She was fast. She was fast.
was.
She was left-handed, but she was only left-handed.
And we
And-
let her go.
oh
left
my
hand
gosh.
all night long.
Oh, and I'm over at the table. I can hear you got left hand, the other left hand. I mean, everything you can do. And,
Even pointing this
Yep.
way, like make her go
Yeah,
this
yeah.
way. We just, that's just one of them things, It's one of the things. But yes, we are going to address that. But she's strong going left hand, but she's a girl that can kind of play both ways. So she's a really nice player, averaging almost 16 a game. So one that we're gonna have to keep an eye on.
So we already know about Marquette. Very familiar with them, man. High quality team. They got some athletes. They got size. You have the type of team that just likes to go. So we're we're very familiar with them. Got bigs that can step out and shoot too.
Yep.
Just kind of always that tough matchup. Then on the bottom side, St. Joe Academy comes in with the number 2 seed. They're taking on Parkway West. The number 3 seed is Eureka taking on Parkway South. So, how good is St. Joe?
St. Joe Academy's good, and really, they're honestly probably the better team in the district. Marquette just come out one night and actually St. Joe Academy lost last night to MICDS by 3, so that's comparable. The Haywood girl had 37 on them.
And she's like a 6'1" guard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
sophomore guard.
Yep.
Yeah, she's good. Yeah,
Yep.
she's legit.
But they shoot the 3 ball so well. They beat Rockbridge earlier this year by about 25. They beat Lutheran St. Charles last week by 27 without their best player.
Wow.
If they get hot from 3, they're by far the best team around. But if they're off that night, it's winnable.
Oh, nice.
So, but at this time of year, hey,
Anything's possible. That's the thing. It's always that one game. So let's take a look now. Let's wrap down. So we won't really talk too much about the other ones. We know St. Joe Academy down there. We're going to take care of business against Wildwood or Lafayette on Monday night. As we said, that's going to be 7:00 at Marquette High School. So that's been kind of scrolling across the screen earlier. Make sure you take a look at that. 7:00 Monday at Marquette High School. Come on out. If you're not going to make the drive, then you're going to have to pay online at a rate that's going to be higher than getting into the game. So you might as well come on up to the game, join in, cheer on the Lady Bulldogs up there at Marquette. Eureka, again, they're always a solid team. Parkway South, but to me, I see St. Joe Academy being the one to come out of there. But like you said, anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
Somebody get hot, you go cold. So let's take a look at a couple final questions. So, what is the key to winning this next game, Coach? To basically, win and survive.
And the key to the next game will be our size advantage. We have a size advantage against them, and our defensive presence leading to transition baskets. That's something that we're really going to stress on this next game.
And we've seen that. We saw that against Union. I can't remember how many points in the paint you guys had against Union, but it was just total domination.
Yep.
So that's I think you guys are going to get it done.
Yep.
March Madness is coming up. Any early predictions on who do you think are going to make the Final Four for college basketball?
Well, that is so all over the place this year. There's so many good teams, especially in the top 10.
It's crazy.
There's even some mid-major schools that are really good. You look at what is it, Ohio?
Yeah, Miami, Ohio.
Ohio. There's a lot of good teams out there that, man.
Yeah, SLU's only got their 2 losses. All SLU has.
Yeah. There's a lot of really good basketball teams out there right now. So it's a toss-up. I'm interested in seeing if it go there.
Well, it's kind of one, when you watch the whole seeds kind of come through, it's always kind of exciting to see who moves and as they beat each other. And again, as they wind down for the conference tournaments. All right. Well, hey, Coach, thank you a lot for joining us.
One shout out.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to our JV girls.
Oh, yeah.
22-0.
22-0. Incredible.
And to Coach Flatley and Coach Allen that helped coach them girls up. Coach Bryant, our coaching staff, for really helping with those girls. Fun season, exciting things to come. So
their ability to get out and get in that passing lane. I mean, holy cow.
And very unselfish.
Yeah, the extra pass, almost too unselfish at times.
Yep.
But we had that last game, and I wrote about this against Tolton. In the first 4 minutes, Lacey Wilson's has 3 assists, a steal, and a bucket. But it was that mindset of she could have taken a shot, but she got it to somebody else. And then you go at the end of the game, and and so the whole third and fourth quarter, it's like you guys are like blanking in 5 on, 5 off, and trying to get everybody going. And everybody scored. Everybody touched the court scored.
That's fun.
And great job on that. It's a bright future coming up for you. When you already have a young team already, you got Mariah Watkins, the lone senior, but you're gonna have a busy crew coming in ready to get after.
I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. Good.
And one final thing too is I want to make sure that on Sunday you have just a really awesome birthday. Is your birthday gonna be on Sunday?
It is on Sunday.
All right, man. 28 years old.
Yep.
Can't believe how young you are. It's gonna be awesome and gonna have a lot of fun. And then the kids are gonna reward you with a nice birthday present with that first round district victory.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
I took a district loss one time on my birthday here.
That would be rough,
That was
man.
it was rough.
Yeah, that would be hard.
Yeah, let's not do that anymore.
No, we're not doing that. We're gonna return the page on that. Gonna get that victory.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So for Coach Charlie Barker, want to thank Phelps County Bank for being our title sponsor. Also want to thank Jeremy Shelton over there at Taylor Chrysler for being the Coach Talk sponsor. Coach, good luck on Monday night, 7 p.m. Marquette High School. Come on up. If not, got to go to Mission TV, and you're going to have to pay.
Yeah.
All right. Coach Charlie Parker, I'm Tom Brown from Inside the Huddle to the Heart of the Game. We'll see you next time. Go Dogs.